It's now time for Trivia Tracks with yours truly, Price Robertson. This edition of Trivia Tracks is brought to you by ProMed Ambulance Services, care you can count on, and Beth Smith at Edward Jones. Edward Jones, making sense of investing, member SIPC. In 1950, CBS Radio launched a new police drama called The Lineup, which began as a summer replacement for the FBI in Peace and War. The title indicated the show's focus, as each story began and ended with a lineup of suspects in a police station in San Francisco. Bill Johnston, one of several actors who played the Shadow on the radio, portrayed Lieutenant Ben Guthrie. Joseph Kearns, later become Mr. Wilson on TV's Dennis the Menace, initially portrayed Sergeant Matt Grabb, with Wally Marr taking that role beginning in 1951. The soft-spoken Guthrie and the quick-tempered Grabb were the only two regular characters on the program. Several scripts were written by Blake Edwards, who along with producer Jaime Del Valle, rode with police and sat in on real-life lineups. And Del Valle read about a dozen newspapers a day in search of material that could be adapted for episodes. In 1954, a year after the lineup ended its run on the radio, CBS brought the show to television, this time starring Warner Anderson as Guthrie and Tom Tully as Grabb. Now working as an inspector instead of a sergeant because of the time the series was made, there is no such rank as sergeant in the Bureau of Inspectors, the SFPD's investigative division, and the full inspector was the closest equivalent to the generic detective sergeant the character had been on radio. Marshall Reed co-starred in the first few seasons of the series as Inspector Fred Asher. Like Dragnet, another holdover from radio, the lineup strove to portray realism in a police drama. The show was filmed partly in San Francisco and partly in Hollywood, using Desilu's production facilities. For most of its run, the lineup was a top 20 Nielsen ratings hit, finishing at number 17 for 1955 to 1956 season, at number 16 for 1956 to 57, and at number 18 for 1957 to 58. In 1956, it received an Emmy nomination for Best Action or Adventure Series. Eddie Dunstetter was the series' musical director during the first season. He had held that job during the original radio run of the series. Subsequent seasons used CBS's stock music library for the background score. The success of the lineup resulted in a feature film version released in 1958, with Eli Wallach top billed over series lead Warner Anderson and directed by Don Siegel. For the record, Siegel is erroneously listed via Wikipedia as the director of the pilot episode, The Paisley Gang. It was Thomas Carr who handled that task. In the sixth and final season, which began the fall of 1959, the show expanded to an hour, and the Grabb character was replaced by younger officers, including policewoman Sandy McAllister, played by Rachel Ames, later of General Hospital. Reruns aired under the title San Francisco Beat. Till next time, I'm Price Robertson. Amazed by today's trivia? Then join me for Trivia Tracks weekdays at 6:45 on Everybody's Country Y95.